What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, y'all. It is late. Y'all. But we gonna talk about some women's basketball, y'all. So if y'all didn't know, LSU just defeated Auburn 71-66, and y'all, this was a very good game. We're gonna talk about this game. We're also gonna talk about Iowa versus Indiana. Indiana got their payback against Iowa and beat them. We're going to talk about that game. Indiana won 86-69 for Iowa. We're going to talk briefly about North Carolina versus North Carolina State. Duke beat Syracuse, so we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. But we start with the highlight. Well, not the highlight. I was probably to say the highlight of the day probably was Indiana versus Iowa. But we're going to talk about the game that just ended. LSU versus Auburn. Auburn came into LSU's house trying to get the dub, but it didn't happen. And yeah, we're going to talk about Aneesah Scott Grayson and how fantastic she was. But first, I do want to see what y'all got to say in the comments. Y'all, what a day. What an evening of games. Oh, that's a very big comment. Here we go. Says, I think Caitlin is wearing down. Her teammates aren't doing enough. Yeah. Caitlin needs help. We're going to talk more about that in just a sec. Mikaylah says, I hate to say it, but I have lost a good piece of faith in my Hawkeyes. Yeah. Yeah. That's a thing for sure. Shout out to Pumpkin314 who just gave a super chat. Pumpkin314 says, the only teams I have seen win tough road games are the two USCs, University of South Carolina, University of Southern California, and Virginia Tech. It's going to be interesting to see who can win on neutral sites on the road. Yes. Absolutely. Facts. I think that's going to be key. Who is going to be able to pull off wins on a neutral site? Because your fans, yes, while they going crazy at home games and whatnot, they not going to be there with those same numbers at an away game or at a neutral site game. And so can you show up when it matters the most? In the NCAA tournament, yes, of course, but also as a test for that in the conference tournaments. Can you show up on neutral ground where your team is not sort of the end all be all in terms of the fans that are out there. But y'all, I know y'all tired. Y'all sitting in the comments, y'all tired. And JB said, oh man, I am tired though. It's been a day though. It has been a day. Oh, see now, y'all. I guess I'm kind of slow on this one. Pumpkin says, I said Pumpkin314. Pumpkin says a three is 3.14. Yeah, because that's pi. 3.1455 something. It's like a long number thing. So the name is Pumpkin Pie. Thanks for explaining that. I should have gotten it, but clearly I didn't. But while y'all in here, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be fantastic. Please hit that like button. It helps more people find the stream while we are on here. But y'all, let's get into this LSU versus Auburn game. Let me know in the chat what y'all thought about this game. I thought that this game was an excellent game. I thought this was a fantastic basketball game to watch because it really was about, okay, we know LSU's at home, and we know they got last time against Auburn. How will they show up? That was the question. How will they show up? And is Angel Reese just going to take over? and dominate in this game. And for the questions, for both of those questions, we got, yes, LSU showed up. One, because the home crowd, and that helped hype them up as a lot, but also because the girl named Angel Reese. Y'all, Angel Reese got herself some new hair, and y'all, she balling. She got some new hair, she balling. She 20-20 or 23-20. 23 points in this game. Efficient in terms of shooting. She was 8 of 13 from the field goal. From the field. In terms of free throws, she was pretty efficient as well. 9 or 11 for free throws today. And y'all, not only did she have 23 points, but she had 20 rebounds. She had a 23-20 game. It was pretty fantastic to watch her do her thing. And y'all, I would say that she would have had more if her teammates would have been able to give her some accurate passes, especially late in the game. It was y'all, it was getting a little bit. I was like, come on, y'all. Don't throw it over Angel Reese's hand, and give it to her so she can actually catch it. There were several turnovers in that second half when they were trying to get it to Angel, and they just couldn't get the pass right. But even with that being said, Angel Reese did her thing. Angel Reese did her thing. And so that's the engine, that's the motor, that's the person that gets LSU going, Angel Reese. And with her being able to, 25 points, 20 rebounds. She had 1 block as well and 2 assists. And when it comes to Angel Reese, sure, this wasn't the best game ever for her. But she did what she needed to do to get the dub for her team. She was sort of the emotional rock for this team. And she got them focused, and they did what they needed to do, which is get the dub. Now, while Angel Reese did her thing, there was another player who I thought was absolutely phenomenal in this game. And she did not wear an LSU jersey. She wore an Auburn jersey. Her name is Honesty Scott Grayson. Y'all, Honesty Scott Grayson was pretty phenomenal in this game. She wasn't the most efficient. She was 10 of 23 from the field. But y'all, she had some three-pointers. She hit 5 3-point shots. And I think it's either her career high in terms of 3 points made or close to it. She finished with 28 points in this game. And y'all, Honesty Scott Grayson, she is the person that kept Auburn in the game. Auburn would have got destroyed if it wasn't for Honesty Scott Grayson. And y'all, the thing about her that is so like special is that she just rises to the occasion when she needs to. Right? And she had a lot of extra incentive because she was playing against her former coach. She played at Baylor for a hot sec when Kim Mulkey was there, and when they originally played at Auburn earlier in the season, she showed up and had a fantastic game. And then today she showed up and had a fantastic game. Yes, Auburn didn't win, but Honesty Scott Grayson, I felt, did everything she possibly could to get her team a chance to get the dub. But I think the home court advantage for LSU and Angel Reese doing her thing down low, it was just a little bit too much for Auburn to deal with, and they were not able to get the dub. But I thought they played well. I thought that Johnny Harris, the head coach of Auburn, I thought she had a good game plan. And it's just that they just didn't have enough. And that's what happens sometimes. I mean, when you're playing against a very, very good team, you can have a good game. It wasn't just Aneesah Scott Grayson. It was Jemiah Mingo Young, who also had a good game as well. She had about 16 points in this game. And when it came down to the stretch for Auburn, it really was get the ball in Jemiah Mingo Young's hand or get the ball to Aneesah Scott Grayson. That was the game plan for the Auburn Tigers. And for them on defense, it was sort of like slow down LSU and try to limit the guard play in terms of them scoring. And in terms of scoring, I thought that for LSU, it really was just Angel Reese who went off and did some great stuff offensively. Last year, Poa had 13 points, which was, more than she was probably expecting to get in this game, mainly because she got so many free throws. She was 7 of 8 for free throws, and she had 13 points in this game. It was Angel Reese with 25. Big foe, Flau'jae Johnson with 11 points. We had last year Poa with 13 points. Also, in previous streams, people have said that I sound like I'm saying last year Poa. I'm last tier, TEAR. I think sometimes when I just say her name, it sounds like year, but I'm saying tier. Last tier Poa had 13 points in this game. And everybody else just did okay, I guess. Not really. Aneesah Morrow had a not so great game, but it's fine because you're for a team like LSU, you're still able to get the dub, even though you didn't have the best game, right? So Mikaylah Williams also didn't have that great of a game offensively. But when it came down to it, they got the dub. All right, so let's get into some of y'all comments. Also, we're going to talk about turnovers in just a sec. But I do want to get into y'all comments. Shout out to Nolan. Thank you so much, Nolan, for the super chat. Nolan says, thanks for jumping on tonight. Great night in women's basketball. Yes, I absolutely agree, Nolan. This has been a phenomenal night for women's basketball. Phenomenal. We got some really great upsets, and yeah, like who doesn't love upsets? I'm just saying, who doesn't love it? Also, if y'all can do me an awesome favor, we got 200 people in the chat. Thank y'all so much for joining me. It is late, y'all, so I appreciate y'all for joining in on the convo to talk about these games. If y'all can hit that like button, that would be phenomenal. If we can get to 125 likes, that would be fantastic. So if you have not hit that like button, please hit that like button. It really, really helps more people find the video. Veronica says, new to the chat, love the channel, Quita. Well, thank you. Thank you, Veronica. Welcome to the awesome people of the internet. Welcome. We have a great time talking about our favorite game of women's basketball. So let's get into some of the turnovers that happened for this team. Let's get into some of the turnovers because LSU had a little bit of a problem when it came to turning over the ball. A little bit of a problem. And I think that, yes, you got the dub, which is important. However, they're going to have to fix that. They're going to have to fix that. So if you didn't know, Auburn had 15 turnovers in this game, and LSU had 23 turnovers in this game. 23. If we kind of go down the list in terms of like who had how many, Aneesah Morrow had the most turnovers with 6. Mikaylah Williams had 4 turnovers. Flau'jae Johnson had 3 turnovers. Hailey Van Lith had 3 turnovers. Angel Reese had 3 turnovers. Last tier Poa had 4 turnovers. This is problematic for this team because you can't expect to when you can't expect to easily be able to win games like this when you're turning over the ball on a neutral site or at an opponent's place. It's just hard. Yes, you were able to get the dub because because of your talent. I'm not trying to sort of diminish the talent that is on LSU, but the types of types of turnovers that they had, just sort of like not smart passes, just like bad ideas for a pass. And I'm just like, I was thinking, I'm like, man, if they're on a neutral site in the NCAA tournament, do they come out with the win in this type of game with this many turnovers? You know, I would say that's something that you really do have to worry about if you're an LSU fan, and I'm sure Kim Mulkey is probably going to light into this team. Yes, you got the dub, but also turnovers are a thing, and they can come back to bite you when it matters the most. But they found a way to get the dub, and you know that matters. That matters. Shout out to Maddie, who gave a super chat. Thank you so much, Maddie. Maddie says, good game tonight. I need to have several TVs set up so I can watch multiple games. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That is for sure a thing. I'm not sure, Maddie, what your cable provider is, or if you if you have cable, but I think that if you have YouTube TV, you can do multi-view, and that's what I do, as long as you're watching the games live. For example, LSU and the LSU Auburn game was I was watching it alongside Utah versus UCLA on my TV because I had like the multi-view, and then for Peacock I would either or I would switch it sometimes and watch that on my phone, and then watch Peacock on TV because Peacock had the LSU or the Iowa versus Indiana game. So yes, you do have to have multiple devices or multiple TVs to be able to watch all the games, because it is a lot of games. It is a lot of games that are happening in women's basketball right now. Ms. Peach says, trust me, Kim's on their necks right now about turnovers. Yeah, I'm sure she is. Because yes, you got the dub, and which is awesome. However, you need to build some consistent play going into the SEC tournament and going into the NCAA tournament. Like I believe we're either just at 2 weeks left of the season, or a little bit less than 2 weeks left of the season before tournament play happens, or conference tournament play happens. And now's the time for you to sort of shore up your offense to ensure that issues like this won't happen a ton in the future. And it wasn't just turnovers from a point guard perspective. So I know there's talk in the chat about the point guard position and whatnot, and yes, sure, that still needs to be figured out. However, I think in terms of turnovers, it's a whole team thing, I think. Dream Chaser CJ says, y'all blowing this out of proportion. Dream Chaser, I would just say that yes, they got the dub, but I do think it is important to call out certain stuff that teams do, because even if they get the win, because it can come down to bite them. It's a similar thing with South Carolina and free throws. Yes, you win, and yes, you get the dub. However, eventually that's gonna come back to bite you. Eventually. So I'm just saying, it was fine for this game. Absolutely fine for this game. But it is something to look at going forward. Shout out to Go Tiger Hoops. Go Tiger Hoops says, thank you for stopping by today. Quita, much respect for you and your work. Go Tiger Hoops. Shout out to you. Absolute total respect for you and what you have been doing, specifically for people who want to watch LSU play. Like I was watching LSU on my TV, but I had that, like I still was in. I was sort of like watching it both. Well, I had it up on my TV and I was watching my TV, but I also had YouTube up with your stream on it. If y'all don't know, Go Tiger Hoops streams live LSU games on YouTube, and so if y'all, because I know not all y'all have internet, or not all of y'all have cable, or if y'all do, maybe y'all don't want to listen to the commentators, or maybe y'all want to specifically chat with people, which is my thing. I want to be where people are chatting about women's basketball. So shout out to Go Tiger Hoops. Y'all need to go over there to subscribe if y'all want to see LSU Lady Tigers games live and also discuss it with people in the chat. I think that's just a fun part of the game, just sort of chatting with each other and sharing some facts. But y'all, anywhere people talk about women's basketball, I'll be there. Anyway, y'all talking about basketball, I will be there. Dream Shady said, I love you, but you bugging. I mean, fair. I mean, that's just what I see. I just call out what I see. And in the future, I could be proven wrong. But it's just something I noticed, and I just wanted to call it out. And maybe they'll fix it because these finer details are important when it comes down to a nitty-gritty game in the Final Four or the championship game or something like that, or even to get to that point. Things like turnovers do matter. Y'all, if y'all get that like button, that would be fantastic. If we can get to 125 likes, that would be phenomenal. Please hit that like button. Also, if y'all have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Talk about women's basketball all day long. Y'all, we're going to talk a little bit more about LSU. Then we're going to move on to Iowa versus Indiana. Indiana beat Iowa today, and we're going to talk about that. Nola Money Saver says, hit the like, people. It's not hard to do. It's not, y'all. Just press it. Press that like button and have it turn blue. Let's see. Let's see what y'all got to say. All right. Bree Wayne says, "Quit it. Let's talk about Iowa and NC State upsets. LSU will be fine." Yeah, we can move on to talk about those games. Oh, thanks, Mixin Mash. They said, guys, to like the live, you need to exit out the live chat and click the thumbs up. Yep. Thanks for providing those instructions. Not everybody knows, and that's fine. And Mix and Mash should just let everybody know. Go Tiger Hoop says, people watch our chat, man. They hilarious. Yeah. I mean, sometimes people be wild, but I anywhere people talk about women's basketball, I'm down. I'm down to listen. I'm down to talk too. RC, RC, we about to get into Iowa, but y'all, before we get into Iowa, RC has something to let y'all know about. RC said, if I see too much slander, your boy is going to take it off. Let that be known too. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, so let's get into this Indiana versus Iowa game, but y'all, let's tread with some caution because we gotta tiptoe around RC. Make sure we don't make him feel too bad about his Iowa Hawkeyes. But RC, I mean, it's not all bad for you today because your UCLA did get the dub against Utah. So I'm just saying, RC. I'm just saying you were 1 of 1 for today. You were 1 of 1. If y'all don't know, RC's a big Iowa fan, but also a big UCLA fan. So like at least one of his teams won. All right. So let's talk about Indiana versus Iowa. So this game was one of the games of the night for me. Indiana was able to get the dub against Iowa, 86-69. And y'all, the game was about a couple of things. One, I really, really liked the way that Indiana played this game, because to me, their focus was, all right, let's make Caitlin Clark work. She may score a lot of points on us, but she's not getting anything easy. Let's do a boxing one. Let's face guard her even when she don't have the ball, and let's ensure that she is moving the entire time, that we are may slightly bump her, and that we make sure that she is working and exhausted. And 2, even if Caitlin goes off, let's make sure that nobody else goes off for that team. And let's slow them down. Let's slow our game down. Let's milk the clock. And let's just play some solid defense. And I felt like that was the game plan for Indiana. And it worked very, very well. And I would say that when you look at this Indiana team, yes, I've said it before, and I will say it again. Iowa is a great team. They are. However, you need more than just Caitlin Clark on a consistent basis. You need more than that. Caitlin Clark, she did all she could. This girl was gassed. She was gassed because she was running the whole time, and the way that they were playing defense on her, she was working. And yeah, she was pretty inefficient today. She was. And a lot of that was due to in the second half, her trying to get all these 3-pointers up, and she didn't really have the legs anymore, or in some instances the ball, it was sort of in and out, and she was trying, and it was just clear that she didn't have it. And it wasn't like she didn't have it because she was off today. She didn't have it because they gassed her. She was tired, and she didn't really have the legs to hit those shots like she normally does. And I would say that for Iowa, when we see this team play in the future in the NCAA tournament, you're going to need more than Caitlin Clark, and in this game, Kate Martin. You're going to need more than that. Like you are. Hannah Stokey had 40-something points a couple weeks ago, and she finished today with 10 points. Molly Davis only had 3 points in this game. Gabby Marshall, only 3 points in this game. You need more than just that. So I did sort of want to talk about that a little bit, but I think I also do want to highly talk about the Indiana Hoosiers, because I thought they've played a phenomenal game, and I do want to give them their flowers. So before we get to that, I do want to just see what you all have to say in the comments. Mikaylah says Iowa lacks effort on the defensive side. If they would have played defense like they did the last minutes of the game, it would have been, yes. That's another thing. Yes. So yes, offensively, it basically is the Caitlin Clark show. And even when she tries to get her teammates involved, they miss shots. And on defense, it is not pretty. It's not really existent. Like, it's just, they don't really play defense. Iowa just doesn't really play defense. Like, it's a thing. Their opponents score a lot of points against them. The benefit that Iowa has is they're a running team. They're a team that's fast paced, trying to get on the move, trying to score quickly, so that it offsets the issues they have defensively. And I would say that when it came to this Indiana game, we didn't see the offensive spark that Iowa has, because Indiana was able to slow them down. And then on offense, Indiana was able to play smart, move the ball well, make cuts, and get the ball to the right person at the right time to make a shot. And Iowa just couldn't stop it. And speaking of Iowa not being able to stop Indiana, when you look at Indiana as a team, I said in a previous video that I thought, the tops of the Big Ten was Ohio State at number 1, then it was Iowa, then it was Indiana. Yes, Indiana was at home, so that contributed a lot. And when Iowa won the first matchup, Iowa was at home. So I kind of take both of these games as a wash in terms of the true importance of it in the grand scheme of things. When it comes down to it, both of these teams are tied in Big Ten play right now. They are tied. Both of these teams are, they're tied. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when as we sort of get into the Big Ten tournament. But yeah, it's kind of a wash. Iowa won at their home. Indiana just won at their home. But Indiana exposed Iowa for sure in this game. And y'all, I do have lots of shout outs for Indiana. Y'all. Indiana, I know Grace Berger was phenomenal for years at Indiana. It's Mackenzie Holmes' team right now. And y'all, this girl was like, we ain't doing this again. I lost to y'all before. We just had a very bad game against Illinois. We not losing. This girl put her foot down and said, we are not losing in this game. We are going to beat Iowa. And they did just that. They did just that because they had some redemption to have. So if y'all don't know, Indiana recently lost to Illinois in a surprise loss. Illinois beat them 86-66. And that wasn't happening again. That wasn't happening again because Mackenzie Holmes was like, nah, She is a senior. We'll see what she does next season. But yeah, she dominated in this game. She absolutely dominated. She had 24 points in this game. She was able to get to her spots offensively, and she was extremely efficient. And Iowa's bigs just couldn't do. I always do this. I always just mess up my live. There we go. Okay, guys. Why do I always do this? Anyway, we're talking about Mackenzie Holmes and how phenomenal she really was today. She had 24 points in this game. She had 9 rebounds, 4 blocks, and she stayed out of foul trouble, which was good. When you look at a team like Indiana, you look for consistency, right? And Indiana has that. You have Mackenzie Holmes as your leader, as the person who makes everything go for this team. And then you have I always pronounce this girl's name wrong. Scalia. I can't remember exactly how you say her name. Sarah, their sort of lady who makes everything sort of run for this team. Sarah did a fantastic job in this game. She had 25 points. And it wasn't just 2 players. It was 3 players that did their thing, because Garzone also had a really good game. In terms of points, she only had 15 points, which is really good. But also it was the timeliness of her scoring her buckets. And it wasn't just, the thing about Indiana is it wasn't just their offense. So yes, we keep saying that Indiana was able to score in this game with 86 points, but also defensively, they look good. Because when you looked, the reason why Hannah Stokey only had 10 points in this game is because the paint was locked down. The paint was locked down because Indiana was not allowing Iowa to do what they pleased in the paint, because you had 2 big shot blockers in Mackenzie Holmes and Garzone. They had 4. Mackenzie Holmes had 4 blocks. Garzone had 2 blocks. Parrish had 2 blocks, and they just kind of was like, nah, we're gonna stop everybody but Caitlin, and also you're not gonna get in the paint and make stuff happen, because they had a box and 1 for a good amount of the game. And when they didn't, they still were extremely active on the defensive end, especially in the paint. And I think that for a team like Iowa, you needed to do a little bit more to break the defense. And they didn't do it because it was Caitlin. Caitlin had to do everything. Caitlin and Kate Martin showed up. Kate Martin showed up. She did. But Caitlin Clark can't do it alone. She needs help. she needs help. And it's something that Iowa fans should probably take note of. I'm just saying, you know. Yeah, I'm just saying. Maddie says, Quita, do you think I will remain up? So no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. No. We'll see, but no, I don't think so. As we kind of see the way, we'll see on Monday where they put put Iowa. We will see. Because Indiana's a good team. So it's not like it's the worst thing in the world for Iowa to lose to Indiana. You know? Indiana is not a scrub team at all. At all. So yeah. We will see though. We will see. For those who don't know, for week 16, which is the week that we are currently in right now, Iowa stands at 4, fourth in the country, and we have Indiana that is 14th. All right, so Iowa is number 4, Indiana is 14th. Iowa's going to drop slightly. They're probably going to move down 1 or 2 spots. I'm thinking, but we'll see. RC says, I didn't already called the Iowa secret tunnel phone. Secret tunnel phone, RC. To reach Caitlin and told her after the season, pack your bags, we out, draft day is calling. As the days and days go on, that's my thought. I'm wondering, what is Caitlin gonna do? Is she gonna return to Iowa? Is she going to go to the WNBA? Because y'all, Aalyah Boston is ready for Caitlin Clark to declare for the WNBA draft. She is ready, and y'all. She has been doing a phenomenal job as a commentator, as an analyst. She's been doing a phenomenal job with Peacock. I was listening to her at the half and then after the game for the Iowa-Indiana game today. And y'all, I could just tell she's ready. Aalyah Boston is ready for Caitlin Clark to be her teammate. Glowing reviews all around. She's making it known that Caitlin, I really like you. I want you to be my teammate. So we'll see. We'll see if your hotline works, RC. We will see if your hotline works. Mikaylah says, I feel like Iowa should at least try a 2-post lineup with Gabby coming off the bench. I don't know. I wonder. So yes, Gabby Marshall has not had the best of seasons, right? But I wonder if it's a familiarity thing as to why Gabby is still a starter who plays almost the entire game. You know, like it's Gabby, Kate, and Caitlin. They're the 3 who are pretty much always in. And I wonder, even if Gabby isn't playing well, I wonder if for Caitlin there's comfort having Gabby there. I'm not quite sure, but I wonder if that's a thing, and if maybe that is why we see. Maybe that's why we see Gabby Marshall still, starting or still playing as many minutes as she's playing. Because it's one thing to start. It's also another thing to play almost the entire game. If you're wondering, Gabby Marshall played 34 minutes in this game. The only player on Iowa's team that played more minutes than Gabby Marshall is Caitlin Clark, who played 39 minutes in this game. So I wonder if it's a familiarity thing for Caitlin to have Gabby in the starting lineup and playing all the time. So that's just my thought as to why she hasn't been benched yet. But yes, Art Dog says Gabby is considered their best defender. She is their best defender. She's not the best defender in the world. This is no shade at all to Gabby Marshall. But yeah, she is their best defender also. You know, she can get at players defensively. And while Iowa is not a defensive team, she's their best chance at defense. So yes, absolutely, Art Dog, you are totally right on that front. All right, let's see what else y'all got to say. Also, if y'all get that like button, that'd be fantastic. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We will be live tomorrow for another stream, y'all. For y'all who recently became an awesome person of the internet, y'all may not know that we do live streams every single Friday. So I talk to y'all again on Friday at 6 Friday, which is tomorrow at 6:30. There are some other games that happened today that I want to just touch on as well. So when we look at today's game, it wasn't just the Iowa versus Indiana game. It wasn't just the LSU versus Auburn game. There were other games that happened today as well. There was Duke getting the upset win against Syracuse, and when it came down to it, I think Duke. If you don't know, Duke won 58-45. Syracuse had 45 in this game, which is like a very 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 low scoring game. I feel like this may be like their lowest scoring game all season. And when you look at this Syracuse team, they're good, but they didn't have it today. they did not have it today, and I would say that Syracuse runs at the speed of Deja Fair. In terms of if they win, it's Deja Fair that's just sort of doing her thing and willing her team to victory. And I thought in terms of play, she played well. Well, not well. She tried her best. In terms of efficiency, she wasn't great. In terms of efficiency for the Orange, but it was all about defense for Duke. When we look at this Duke team, they're trying to make defense their calling card, and I thought they succeeded in today's game. It was an extremely low scoring game, and I think that yes, Duke got the upset because Syracuse is a really good team. Syracuse is 22-5 on the season. A very 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 good team. They're ranked 17th in the nation. Duke is not even ranked in the top 25. And it's great that Duke got the dub. But this is not Duke about to make a resurgent run in the ACC tournament or something like that. I think Duke has had games like this where they really lock in defensively and get dubs. But I think consistency is the issue with Duke. Consistency is the issue. And I think that as this Duke team gets older, because they're a very, very young team, I think as they get older, we will see them get better and better and better in terms of consistency. Because at times, yeah, they can play and they can make some stuff happen. But you need to be consistent. You really do need to be consistent to actually be a great team, not just a team that can get somebody, right? So that's my thoughts about Syracuse versus Duke. Again, Duke won that game 58-45. An extremely low scoring game for Syracuse. Other games that happened today include the battle in North Carolina. We had North Carolina State versus North Carolina. And y'all, North Carolina State lost again, y'all. They lost again. North Carolina won this game 80-70. And NC State, I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah. I am not sure about this NC State team. And the reason why I say that is because come on in to the truck stop. I got some random ads popping up. But the reason why I think that I'm not quite sure about NC State is because you lose a game like this to UNC. And UNC is also a good team. They were once ranked in the top 25, but they're not as good as NC State, in my opinion. But it's about who shows up at the right time. Who shows up at the right time and who makes stuff happen. You know, Aalyah James tried her best, you know. NC State needed more from Sanaya Rivers. You did. You needed more from Sanaya. You needed more. If NC State is going to make it far, you need both of those players to go off. Aalyah James is phenomenal, but you also need Sanaya to go off as well. And you need to be a little bit more efficient from the three-point line. When it came to North Carolina, a lot of the time it's all about what Deja Kelly can do, and if Deja Kelly can sort of will this team to win. But this game was not about Deja Kelly at all. This game was not about Deja Kelly. It was Donarski who was doing her thing. It was Goddang who was doing her thing. And those are the players. It was Utsby. I always say that girl's name wrong. Anyway, it was her doing her thing as well. And I think that when you look at this North Carolina team, you don't quite know what to expect. In a similar way, I kind of see Duke similarly to how I view North Carolina. Good team. Don't know what to expect day in and day out. I don't know if they're going to have a really good game. I don't know if they're going to have a bad game. I don't know if they're going to show up defensively or not. Like I don't know. But today was Duke's day, and today was North Carolina's day. And Syracuse and NC State got y'all. The number 6 team in the country in North Carolina State, NC State, they have lost to North Carolina, and I love to see it. I do, and the reason why is because I love, as y'all know, I love when underdogs win. To me, that is what sport is all about. The team that's not supposed to win pulling up the upset victory. I love it. Early says NC State lost. Oh my God. Yeah, they lost. Kentucky Lucky says NC State and North Carolina are bitter rivals. I really think that drives those games. Yeah. And home court advantage. Yes, both of those things really do help out a lot because as we are seeing today, home court advantage is determining some of these games, and North Carolina was at home, so they were in Chapel Hill, so they were going crazy for their team, and it was just too much for NC State. But yeah, God dang is great. and the like, I just love her name. Like, I just love her name. Maria God dang. She's a talented player. She is. So shout out to her. She is a junior for y'all who don't know. Maria God dang. She plays at North Carolina. And she's been balling. Not in terms of like having the most points per game for North Carolina, but she's been playing her role well. She's been playing her role well. 224 says Iowa might still rank in the top 5 on Monday. You really? You think so? I don't think so. They shouldn't. I don't think. Yeah. I would probably say maybe sixth place. They'll probably be in sixth place, but we'll see. NC State also did lose, so I think that's gonna come into effect as well, and it depends on if Stanford can win their games this weekend, and it depends if Texas wins their games. If they win their games, I think Iowa will. And if USC wins their games, USC will probably leapfrog Iowa. Maybe. I'm trying to work out what I think the logic is for the people who do the AP poll, right? Because the AP poll is it aggregates votes from analysts and reporters and all that good stuff. And I'm trying to think about how they would score it, right? Right now, Iowa is number 4 in the country. We have South Carolina, Ohio State, Stanford, Iowa, Texas, NC State, and USC. And maybe it is possible for them to be number 5. I personally wouldn't put them at number 5, but maybe it is possible that they will be number 5 on how the votes probably will go. But y'all, I do want to briefly talk about South Carolina. South Carolina are your 2024 SEC champs, y'all. They locked that down today with today's win versus Alabama. And, they just continue to do their thing. South Carolina is just, they just South Carolina. And they winning left and right. And Kamilla Cardoso didn't even play tonight. She did not play tonight. For those who don't know, it was said that Kamilla Cardoso is resting, or sort of she needs to rest a little bit. So she didn't play in the game. She was on the bench cheering for her team and doing that stuff. But we don't know. Maybe she'll be back in the next game. I'm not quite sure. I didn't get a chance to listen to Don Staley's post game presser, so I'm not sure if there was any timeline given for South Carolina, and when Kamilla Cardoso will return. But I think if there was any game for her to rest in, this is one of those games because she played. She was playing for South Carolina. She went overseas to play for Brazil, came back, and once she got back, immediately played, and just kind of been going nonstop. So to me, it makes sense for her to get a little bit of rest. She's tired. So to me, it's not a big deal, the fact that she was out of this game. But I did just want to let y'all know that she was out in this game and they still destroyed Alabama. And y'all, Alabama's not a bad team. Alabama is sort of the upper half. They're in the upper half of the SEC. So I think that is something that we should have in our minds. Like, this Alabama team is they're not scrubs, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And they still got by a lot versus South Carolina. Also, a thing to note about South Carolina is Dawn Staley now has 600 career wins, y'all. 600 career wins for Dawn Staley. And y'all, she's still pretty young in her coaching career. She is still pretty young. So yeah. That is, y'all, I am very, very tired. It is 11:22 and I have a meeting bright and early tomorrow. So I have to call it quits here. But yeah, what a, absolutely, I agree. Yeah. If they can go off, Alabama has a chance. The problem is neither of them went off in this game. So yeah, that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing. Janae, I agree. Janae says Alabama is solid. I absolutely agree. Yeah. They're definitely no scrubs. They're good. They're a good team. Christopher says Mikaylah is fine. Won't need her Sunday either against Kentucky. Though Kentucky did get the dub. Kentucky did get a dub. Got an upset. So that is something. But yeah, they probably won't need her against Kentucky. All right, y'all. Y'all have been fantastic. It is late. Oh, it's 12. Oh wow. It's 12 a.m. 12:24 a.m. where Kyra's at. Yeah, it's I am tired, y'all. So I do hope you guys have a great night tonight. Get some great sleep. For those of y'all who want to join me tomorrow for Awesome People of the Internet Friday Hangout, you can join me here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. where I haven't figured out the topic exactly. So if y'all have a specific topic y'all want me to cover tomorrow for Awesome People of the Internet Friday Hangout, let me know in the chat. Or just send me a message saying, hey, here's my suggestion of what to talk about. There's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. We could talk about conference tournaments. We could talk about the NCAA tournament. We could talk about freshman of the year battle. We could talk about some of the incoming freshmen and where they're gonna go, i.e., where is Sarah Strong going? Question mark. I feel like it's leaning a certain way, and I we can talk about that. There's a lot of stuff we can get into tomorrow. Let me know your suggestion of what your vote would be for me to talk about tomorrow, because we will get into it then. Guys, have a fantastic night. It's Thursday night, y'all. So tomorrow's Friday. Woo woo! Tomorrow's Friday, end of the week, y'all. And more women's basketball to attend to. You guys have a great one. Until next time, guys, I will see y'all later. All right, until next time. Bye-bye.